Hello everyone, we are back here with another things to do in Minecraft basically, but today we are going to be working on a Minecraft mob sorter for Title Update 16 on the Xbox 360. Now, as you've seen in the previous footage, it's kinda accurate. It has its disadvantages with bigger lit worlds where more mobs can spawn, but as you can see, I'm building this up in the sky, so I can kind of experiment with that a little here. So, welcome to my innovative design of the mob sorter. Right here, we have a button and the lever. The button's gonna act as the record retrieving system, and the lever is gonna turn the mob farm on or off. And without further ado, let's just get started. So you can have any design you want, but what's recommended for if you want record retrieving or whatever it is, keep them 1 block apart, and they need to go up at least 22 blocks because mobs have 20 health and they will only live for, or well, they'll survive the 22 block fall with 1 heart, and that's the whole idea, hitting them once. Sometimes it's kind of different with the zombies. I don't know, it's weird, but just keep it 22. Anyways, up here is the 22nd block, and I made this kind of pattern here. You can follow along with it in the video, and I'll just slowly go over this so you can see what it looks like. And now that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna make it. Now you want to get your walls up. These are going to separate them apart so they don't get mixed up and the waters don't mess everything up. Now I'll just fast forward this part. Okay. Okay, now 3 blocks is the idealistic point where you want to, or 3 blocks high is the idealistic height you want to keep it, because sometimes if it's more than 3 they'll get hurt, but there's going to be water in here, so I'm not too sure how that's going to play out. I've done this before. I've made the design, just it can be somewhat iffy. I've never exactly experimented it on that much, but right now I'm just putting glass up because you don't want them to fall out of this farm anyways. Just get this over here. You don't have to put these here, but I'm going to, yeah, put that there because you don't want them. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, I'll just shut up. Anyway, just do what I'm doing. I'm putting a wall behind this hole. It's because they're gonna only have 1 way to go for each of them. And then right here where there's 2, you want to delete this block and that block, and then put a sticky piston. And I like to put a glass block because sometimes when it opens and closes, it can give them somewhat of a damage, like a suffocation, and you don't want that. Now I'm just gonna put this right here, or actually I believe it's like this, and then you want to put that one right there. Now you want to put a half slab right there, put a block behind it, and now I'm just going to build a little wall real quick. You could, usually on my other world I'd use glass just to see it because it looks kind of cool that way, but that's up to you. This whole design is all up to you. Alright, hold on. I like to put it right here because the cats are gonna go right here. They're gonna scare off the creepers into this direction. And then the zombies are gonna run after the villager in this direction. And the skeletons, they're gonna fall down here. So you can kinda already tell how the separation is gonna work. Now let me just get all this builded up and you can follow along. Oh, by the way, this is where the villager is going, so I'll just encase it real quick. Just to get it out of the way. Now, that's pretty much it, the build itself. I'll get to the redstone part. I just want to cover up a few things right here. Like, the only way the creepers will run to this direction is if there is somewhat of a I'm really lost for words right now. You just need some sort of platform over here that it can run to, is basically what I'm saying. And you want to cover up that area just because that's where these trapdoors are gonna come in to use, because the creepers, they're gonna think there's a block beneath it which they can run off of, which is gonna be very helpful in this situation. Though sometimes I've had problems where they run to here, and I'm not too sure if putting a block like that could help, like on both sides, though I don't know if they like lose part of their path findings. But anyways, that's pretty much all you need to do right here, is just make it at least 3 long in each direction. So let's just put one more row right here, just to increase the chances. Nah, I'm just gonna fix this up a little bit, polish it as I'm going. And now, as I said, 3 blocks is the height that they get damaged when they fall, so this is exactly where you want it. Now this is where they're gonna all fall from and end up right here basically. So what I like to do is I like to cover this up and keep it like that, because this is where, put this trapdoor here, that's where that's gonna go. And oh no, sorry, this trapdoor is gonna go right here, right there, as this one's gonna go straight ahead. And you can kind of already tell what's gonna happen. This is gonna open up and slowly open up and close for the mobs. And just put a little wall over it, and you want to take those blocks off. Actually, you want to take that one off as well, and then you just want to put a block right there. And we'll get to that redstone part pretty soon. Well, actually, we kind of are on the redstone part, so never mind. Just pull out your piston. That's gonna go right there, and you're gonna be using tripwire hooks, so you're gonna need that, and your string. Put it on the block that's above the half slabs, a little diagonal of it. And now just, oh, whoops. Now just build out about 2 blocks is fine, yeah, perfect. Yeah, this is where I have the problem with where they get clogged. I'm not too sure which height is the best, but it's all experimental. It's nothing like, there's no right accurate way for the Minecraft Xbox version in my opinion, but yeah, that's just me. And I'm just gonna fill this up real quick. So just make sure your design looks something like this as you're creating this. And keep in mind that when mobs are exposed to sunlight, they get damaged. So that's why I'm putting this all like that. Though you could build it in glass and then put a platform above it, really high up in the air. Now just go up here a little bit, and the mobs are gonna fall right down here, and which is why I'm gonna put this sign right here to slow down the effect of the damage. Or no, they're not even gonna get damaged because it's gonna have a water drop. Bam. So they don't get hurt. And then just put water right here. Yeah, I didn't want to go through that. Damn it. Oh well. There you go. Now you're pretty much done with all this. Now just the only thing that's left right now is the redstone. Just let me get ready here. Get the blocks necessary. Follow along. Yeah, that's it. Now coming up here where the tripwire hook is, you're gonna want to put a redstone dust right there and a sticky piston facing this way with a block on it, as well as a torch right here, which is gonna be going into this, going into a repeater set at 1, and another repeater set at 1. And then you want to put this repeater set at 3. That's going to go into a block. Well, actually, you want to hold on. You want to use a half slab right here and set it to 3 again. 4. I'm really used to saying 3. I figured it's already a 1 pulse signal. Well, I don't know. I don't want to explain it. No need to. Anyways, just you want to branch down right here, and it's just gonna go right down below the one with the redstone dust, and put a sticky piston there. And I think this is a monostable circuit. I'm really not sure what they call these, but yeah. Then you want to put a repeater there, set it to 4 again. I fucked up with that. Then you just want to put a redstone dust and redstone torch, and then a redstone dust. That's going to activate where the skeletons will fall from. Okay, now back to this thing. We're making a clock, as you might have known, and it's going to go into this direction with a redstone dust and 2 more repeaters set to 4. That way, if this is activated, this sticky piston will stay out and it'll keep as a clock, and it'll keep going until all the mobs are out. And that's pretty much the design right there. That's basically it. It's quite simple. Now we also need to wire up this part right here, but the trapdoors, which is right on this side. So put a repeater right there, and then put a sticky piston behind it with a block, and then going down the line you just want to put redstone dust. And there's your other monostable circuit, which will open up the trapdoors as mobs fall down. If I can demonstrate it right here. Yeah, see? Perfect! Now, alright, I guess we can get started on the whole where the mobs are gonna spawn. And then I'll get down to putting the villager. Actually, I'll be right back. Okay, now to get this fully functioning right, you do need 2 tamed ocelots. And the best way to get them onto your platform is to probably you know, left click them and then start running, and they'll teleport up here if you just keep on running and not let them, you know, get away from you or keep spawning to you. That way they don't die. Now I'm just gonna get over here and put the villager right there. That can be kinda easy to get in, kinda hard, depending how far you are from your village. There's tutorials on how to get villagers to areas. Just gotta look them up. Now these guys, I'm just gonna make them a little pathway, and I'm gonna push them over. It's the best way to do this. Okay, perfect. We got them now. As you can see, that's why I put the half slab there, so mobs can't hit them and move them out of place or whatever. The villager itself is the easiest way to separate zombies, so let me just fix this real quick and we'll start adding the water to this whole design. Need signs and the bucket of water. Now the bucket of water for this one is gonna go right here, and I put it here because there's one spot it's not gonna go, it's just not gonna reach, but pretty soon enough they start piling up and they start running down by their own. And the fastest way I've learned to fix this situation is by using a trapdoor. Stupid ocelot. I'm just gonna break this real quick. And you want to put a sign here because the water's gonna want to travel more than that. And you don't want it to go down that glass. Like I said, you know, this doesn't have to be glass. Now put a sign here so it doesn't go down. And that water's gonna go right down there. That's why the specific design with the white blocks are there. Now, alright, we can get started with the mob farm. Okay, now, just want to build up about 2 more at least. This seems like the right amount. And you want to go 8 blocks making a cross. 1, 2, that counts as 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you just want to do this for each one. Okay, now getting onto your platforms. Usually what I like to do is I like to build it like this to loosen up on the material. Just go too high with a 3x3. And this is where your mobs are going to be spawning. Okay, now you should have some sort of design like this. As you can see, the hole is right there, see? Now you just want to skip a block going like this, only once on each side with the crossed stone blocks. So follow as I do. Alrighty. Now you should have something that looks just like this. As I said, 1 each for each way. Okay, now this is for the water flow. Just connect these like this so it makes a square. And just like so. There's your 4x4, I think. Now the water's gonna be going right here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I made that side one too long. As well as this side. Just make sure at least there's one little point that they can go. Now I'd like to make the walls to use like as less amount of material as I can, so best way to do that is to cap it off like this. Just cover every piece of wood you can see. You don't need to put it in the corners. And in my opinion, I think it looks cooler, and it fits the on and off switch idea with the redstone torches, because you're gonna have to have some redstone exposed in the air, but not as much. Okay, now everything should be encased like that. Now what I like to do for these corners, the 4 corners, is I like to put that right there, as well as right there, there, and there. Now you can build your walls up twice, or too high. Okay, now you want to get your redstone lamps, put them in this position, and you just want to make a wall down here. Not covering that. You're gonna have to keep that open for your 8 blocks. So, yeah. Now what I like to do is build one more layer up. And now you want to cover it. Okay, I left this part open because you gotta put one more row, so that way you can add one more source of lights, and that's gonna go in the middle of each of these platforms. So that's why I added one more layer, so I can just put it in the corners. Now cover that up to where it gets to the one hole, like so. And now that's pretty much it for your whole thing. You just gotta add the waters. Actually, let me do this real quick. You want to go outside of your platform to where these holes are, and what I like to do is I just like to put this half slab over it so the water won't get out anyways, so it's helpful. And now this is where the redstone is. What I like to do, oh actually before we move on to any of that, we should get down to this. Get in the water. Water is gonna go right out there. That's gonna travel 8, and those corners are gonna go right there, and they're just perfect for 4 blocks. No idea why, but they are. There you go. And if you don't want, oh actually you can't have spiders in here anyways, so you gotta cap these off with half slabs just to prevent spiders from spawning, so they don't clog up the hole, just by putting those in the middle of those 3x3 platforms. There you go. Now let's get down to the redstone. What I like to do is I like to just make a square right here, and then in the middle of that, of each of them, go all the way to the end of the spawner. Okay, now that's all gonna get wired soon enough. When I get down to the on and off switch, we'll determine that out later, but for now you just want to build up 2 on each of these corners. I usually keep that one out. Okay, now you can encase all of this right now, but for this tutorial I'm just gonna build this one platform, and then in the end we can test it out. But right now I'll meet you guys down at the on and off switch area. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to set the record retriever up first. So what you gotta do is come behind here to where the switch is, put your redstone right there. Actually, it might be easier if you put a redstone torch there. That way you can go over where these sticky pistons are gonna go, because they're gonna be retracting and they're gonna be retracting. This is pretty much all I can say. Now, there you go. Put that right there. There you go. Now they're automatically on. Just push a button and they'll open up 1 second. And if it works properly, which it usually always does, it just doesn't always get a record for some reason. I don't know. But the skeleton will shoot at the creepers if you're in their, you know, range. Okay, now that we finished with the record retrieving system, it comes down to the point of having some redstone being exposed, which is just a part of this invention. It's kind of just inevitable. And why I say that is because redstone needs to come in either any corner of this spawning thing up here, because it's, in my opinion, it's the best spot. You could have it over here. It would look kind of weird, I guess, but it's all up to you, personal preference. But anyways, you just want to put a redstone torch there with a block going over to this pillar right there, going, because it's going to be inverting the signal all the way up, which is like probably the best, easiest way to get redstone power to somewhere besides having wireless redstone, which is kind of, in my opinion, feels like cheating. But that's just me. It's not really in the game. I mean, it is. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. Just do what I'm doing. Alright. Okay, now once you've reached the level for your redstone, okay, you may come across something like this, and the best way to get that is just by putting a block right there, and you will get redstone. Simple. Now that's just gonna connect to this wire. Now the best way I figured to get all of this powered is to put a repeater right there. And pretty much the majority of all these, for the whole redstone part of this mob farm, for getting the lights on and off, is gonna work like this. So just keep that in mind. Now what I like to do is I like to cover this up. So yeah. Okay, now make sure these are covered up, because exposed redstone is not ideal for this. Sometimes when it's, well, I guess when it's on it doesn't matter, but just cover it up. You don't even want spotters. Yeah, you don't even want spotters spawning in there, so yeah. Now, that's pretty much it. That's basically the whole design. You got your record retrieving, you got your on and off switch. This is it in the off position, I hope. Yep. Well, actually that would be the on position, because they only can spawn in darkness. Hopefully you've lit up your world now. I guess I can help you guys with this part. This part is the next level for the spawning. Just do basically what I did down here. It's just, it'll be a lot easier if you're doing this on survival. At least what I've experimented with. And there you go, same design, same idea, same logic. Now just do as I did in the last time, for when I added the water. I like to put the corners there because they don't need to fall down that area. See, sometimes you'll run into a torch that's inverted, and the best way to fix that is just leave a redstone. Is to sometimes use a repeater. You could use a redstone, it doesn't matter. Just as long as it goes into a block and inverts the signal. But, you know, I don't have to invert the signal because the whole thing's supposed to be off. So you can just like keep the wire or the redstone wire going in the same pattern of direction. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I'll finish this off and then you guys can see the results. Thank you guys for watching.